everything like me except me.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. This might not be the best idea.
And we are talking about probably what is the most hyped movie of this year, Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie has had an extreme amount of hype behind it. People are clamoring for this movie to be good, and thankfully, it's exactly what everybody wanted it to be, myself included. I was really looking forward to seeing this movie, not just because it was another Marvel movie, but because it was something different. It was something new. I knew about the Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit, but I didn't know much about them. Like, I never read the comics. I mostly knew of them from Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes, and all I knew about them was that they were space Avengers. The plot of this movie is that 5 outlaws are put in a prison and now have to escape together. They are on the run from a villain known as Ronan, because they have something that Ronan apparently wants. An Infinity Gem. Pretty much it's a gem of massive amounts of power. But after Ronan gets the Infinity Gem, the Guardians of the Galaxy are forced to stick together for a little while longer and stop Ronan from destroying the galaxy. Anyway, this movie was just so much fun. That is the biggest thing about this film. It's fun. It is a ton of fun. All the characters are not only likable, but, you know, they're just, you know, they're awesome. Plain and simple, they're all awesome. I like all of these characters. Star-Lord, Chris Pratt's probably having a ball right now because he got the Lego movie and that was a success, and then he's got this movie and this was a success. Like, he's probably on top of the world right now. This is Chris Pratt's year. So, yeah, you know, Chris Pratt is great as Star-Lord, pretty much a character who was the only human of the group who was abducted during childhood and the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Or at least he is by the end of this movie. Gamora is a green-skinned alien played by Zoe Saldana. She is pretty much an assassin sent by Thanos to help Ronan, and she's pretty much the daughter of Thanos. However, she was not, you know, the same blood as Thanos killed her family and kidnapped her as a child. You know, she's awesome. She has a really interesting backstory, probably the best backstory of all the characters. Then we got Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and the reason I'm going to explain them both at the same time, they're pretty much the Han Solo and Chewbacca of this movie. Groot was a likable presence. I thought he was really, he had a lot of great moments, and his sacrifice at the end, despite the fact that he doesn't actually die, it was still touching and it was still great. And Rocket Raccoon is probably one of the funniest Marvel characters I have ever seen. He has a lot of great lines, and he also gains some really good character development as well. All of the characters gain character development. And then we got Drax, who is played by a wrestler. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I don't watch wrestling. I'm sorry. I forget his name. I'm sorry. You know, Drax, I thought he was probably the least interesting of the Guardians. I think the actor was a great choice, but I didn't find him as interesting or as memorable as the other ones. But I still thought he was a fun character. His action scenes were fun, and he had some funny lines. This tree is my friend. You are all my friends. Then we got what's probably the most disappointing thing about the movie is the villain. The villain is... I like him better than Malekith from Thor: The Dark World, but still, that's not saying a whole lot. I'll go out of my way to say he's one of the worst villains in the Marvel Universe so far. I even find the Mandarin, believe it or not, more memorable than him. Not the fake actor Mandarin. I mean, you know, Guy Pearce's character. But still, you know, he worked for this movie, I guess. I just wish they made him more entertaining. Not necessarily they gave him a backstory or anything, or make him more interesting. You know, if you want to just make, like, a purely just evil guy, fine. But at least make him entertaining. He just was kind of lame. He was plain and simple, just kind of lame. But he's better than Thor: The Dark World. He's better than that, but whatever. You know, he's no Loki. So, with all that said, it's a really, really fun movie. That's really all I can say. You know, impressions over. It was really entertaining. The action was fun. The characters were funny. You know, it was just You know, and while it did have a lot of emotional moments. It was kind of like the tone of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, only a little more consistent. But you know, it was silly, but it didn't take itself. It wasn't so silly to the point where you just couldn't take it seriously. Like you get sucked into the world. You get sucked into the universe, I should say. You get sucked into the universe really quickly. And you really liked these characters, and you want to see how they get out. You want to see how they beat the bad guy and everything. There's also a couple of side characters I really like. There's this there's the gang that actually abducted Star-Lord. The leader and his gang are really entertaining. They're just a bunch of thugs, and they're pretty entertaining. I love the ending scene where he gets tricked at the very end, and then he smiles about it. Unlike getting like, Star-Lord! He just smiles away. Like he knew it was coming, and just puts it down somewhere. So that was really cool. I like that character. It was just, the action was incredible. I love the climax for this film was so much fun. It was so entertaining. You had a huge space battle. You had all the Guardians teaming up. I do admit there was a bit too many times where they thought the villain was dead, and oh god, he's not dead. Special effects, great, top notch. This is probably one of the best looking Marvel films ever, and you know, all the ships look really cool, all the effects look really good. You know, enough said. The soundtrack, on the other hand, I may not be the biggest 80s nut, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a teenager, but even I'll admit, the 80s songs really did add to the film. It did add something to the film, and they were entertaining when they showed up. Either they were used for comedic effect, or they were just used because, fuck it, let's use them, and it's awesome. Like, the first scene in the movie is just Star-Lord dancing his way to one of the songs he has, and he's just dancing all the way to the treasure he's trying to get, and it's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical. And that just lets you know what kind of movie you're in. You know, the music is just fantastic, plain and simple. It's like, I guess I can go for this. It's kind of like Cowboy Bebop. It's kind of like a mix of Star Wars for the orchestral tracks, and a mix of Cowboy Bebop for all the funky jazz tracks, I guess you could say. Because, yeah. In fact, it reminds you a lot about Star Wars and Cowboy Bebop and all that. It's just such a fun, entertaining film, and I'd recommend you go see it. This is probably one of my favorite films all year, which, God, there's been a lot of great films this year. 2014 has been a great year for movies. Seriously, we got How to Train Your Dragon 2, we got, you know, we got X-Men, Captain America, Lego Movie, and, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then next it has to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why do I have to end my summer on a bad note? Whatever. The next thing I want to just talk about is what hero would you guys want to see? Like, in the comments below, if you actually watch this video, what character would you want to see be adapted into his own Marvel movie? Because seriously, we have tons of heroes that could be used right now. I would like to see another Ghost Rider film done right. I don't know if the rights have gone back to Marvel or not. I don't think they have. I forget. I know someone else made the Ghost Rider movies, which I did not like, by the way. I did not like the first two Ghost Riders. So I want to see Ghost Rider done right. I do think you can make that entertaining. I'm gonna call it right now: Guardians of the Galaxy Avengers crossover in Avengers 3, where they verse Thanos. Calling it right now. I'm just gonna call that. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. Go see this movie. It's spectacular. I am the Seaman235, signing out.